There you go. We're live again here in Clinton Park and in Manurewa. I'm Juby here of Grow Yourself, and we've been having this weekly podcast on New Zealand first home buyers guide and insight.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I'm back. I'm so sorry. I'm absent last week.
Oh, yeah. Tell us more about what happened to you last week because I was hoping that you will jump in.
Yeah, I would actually. That would have been a really good discussion, Ate, because to be very honest, I was actually in Mount Roskill that time, guys, and I was helping a first home buyer find their home. So we viewed a property in Mount Roskill. It's such a good property. I think it's a full bedroom, but what's very unique in that property, Ate, that we viewed is that it's got a uh three oh no two bedrooms upstairs, and then the master has got ensuite, and then there's a family bathroom, and then downstairs po will have also have two bedrooms, and then one bathroom, one family bathroom, which is you can and it's got access downstairs, like a different access from the upstairs, so you can pretty much, if you're a first home buyer, that's what I always tell my buyers as well, it can be also a source of income that will help you pay your mortgage. So my buyers po are from Nepal, and I was trying to
Ah,
help with, yeah, I was trying to help them some a property, and they don't have kids yet, so that would have been perfect for them, because two bedrooms upstairs would have been enough if their parents are here, and then downstairs they can put it on, board. Then they will have at least, because it's not a home and income, so you would just want to put it as board, like a flatmate, and then you will
mm,
still have an income. So
mm.
downstairs have its own access, outdoor access. So pretty much you can, if you're paying how much mortgage per week, let's just say 700 to 1,000 per week of mortgage, then you can put each bedroom for at least 200, because it's in Mount Roskill, it's a good area. Put it to 50 including bills. You would have at least like 500 income from the downstairs, and then you just have to top up another 500 for your mortgage.
So
So
this is not your listing. You're just helping a
no,
buyer.
yes, so I'm helping a buyer. I'm a buyer's agent. We viewed a property. It's a stock of our office, so it's from my colleague Natalie Smith. This is 1564 a Dominion Road extension, which is in Mount Roskill po. It's a very nice area. You know Mount Roskill. It's a sought after area. If you're working
Mm,
in the office, so this one is not under contract yet. My buyers quite like it, but it doesn't tick off all the boxes. So, and that's the reason why we're still continuing to look for other houses. But for me,
mm.
for you to be able to be buying in central Auckland, because the price expectation for that house is around the 1.1, that is a good value in
CBD
Mount
kasi yan eh.
Rockville.
Is it
Yeah.
already part of CBD?
Yes, it's a part of CBD. So it's Auckland City.
Mahal, mahal na yan.
So, opo, yun nga po eh. But ate, 1.1 for a four-bedroom in Mount Roskill with three bathroom, that's good.
I
That's really
agree.
good. And that's a freehold, ate. So it's a freehold of
Mm.
480 square meter. Freehold, 480 square meter land
Oh,
area,
it's
Mount
malaki sa
Roskill.
bahay ko. Oh, yeah, that's a good deal already. But I don't know, how
Good
old is
size.
the house?
It is around the 1980s build. So okay, so the only difference is that this house, the cladding is not, of course, it's not the superior cladding, which is brick and tile or weatherboard. This is a fiber cement. So the difference of fiber cement, that I think yours ate is a fiber cement, right? Or
Yeah, fiber cement.
putting your fiber cement. So it's not too bad with fiber cement po. You maintain it well. I don't think it's gonna be a lot of issues po. Kasi fiber cement is basically parang concrete na kinompak mo or anything. So it's not,
Yeah.
and as long as it's a slat that it looks like that,
Yes, yes,
so
it
the
is
water
exactly.
doesn't really penetrate. So,
Yeah.
comparing it to a plaster. So plaster is just flat, so of course
Yeah.
there is a stigma. So it's a stigma, like, well, there's a stigma na ang plaster, it absorbs water, and that's the reason why it has weather tightness issue. But if
Ah,
it's a fiber cement po, is like it's like that, when the water drips, it doesn't really penetrate the inside, it just keeps on, if it falls. So that's the only thing. So I think the reason why the buyers didn't really end up, like they like it, they haven't got back to me if we actually go back to that house. But because it's the cladding of fiber cement, that's the reason why they were like, okay, well, maybe there's more choices in the market. But
Mm.
for the price of a land and the property in Mount Roskill, that would have been really, really good.
Kasi in our case, I haven't heard of plaster. In our case, it's fiber cement. And what I've noticed is, and even when we talk to building inspectors and carpenters, the downside of a fiber cement is that it can easily get cracked or broken
Yes,
compared to weatherboard.
yes,
Mas maganda ang
yes,
weatherboard. So yun lang.
yes. So
Kaya
where,
mm,
opo. Yeah, but weather tightness issue, it doesn't have that much issue. So plaster has. So
mm,
plaster houses are roughly around the 1990s. Yung mga
mm,
bahay po sa the gardens, or even like in a good area somewhere in Goodwood Heights in South Auckland. Some houses as well in the city have plaster. And that's those are the houses that it has that stigma, it has that idea na it can cause weather tightness, which is the moist inside the house. It leaks kasi nga plaster siya, so it can absorb
so
fluid or
mag-absorb siya
water.
ng what do you call that? Insulation?
Yeah, so you can like majority of times it will have insulation po, but because it's plaster, it's flat. It
Mm,
it they have the like they have the tendency to absorb the water. So yun
mm,
yung ano sa fiber. Ang maganda sa fiber cement is what you've said, like it doesn't have that weather tightness issue, but it just cracks easily. So
pag
if you kind of
there's enough
so
holes,
sometimes
if you punch it or so.
Opo, opo. So sometimes you view houses po. Like let's say you view do-up houses, you will see all those fiber cements those were like the 1980s build. And then you can actually feel that when you touch it po, parang you can crack it. You can easily, like, it's almost like a cracker. Like you can
Yeah,
easily,
yeah,
kumbaga sa atin sa Pilipinas ata is it's like a hardy flex. Tawag yata
yeah.
sa'tin is
That's
Hardiflex,
right.
yeah, yung gano'n. Gano'n siya
I'm not sure
ate.
they're exactly the same or might be somewhat similar. Anyway, pag-usapan natin yung property that you had in Mangere, the one that I looked at.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
how was it? O nabenta?
So, okay, so we actually sold it in a 4-week campaign, which is really, really awesome in this type of market. So the market has been very, very it not slow. There's always gonna be activity po in the real estate industry. But then at the end of the day, that's what I always say to people that I've appraised, to the vendors that I've appraised. Um if so we have a saying in real estate ate, in our industry, that buyers will never be a buyer unless the vendors will not become a vendor. I don't know if you get that, but it's quite confusing. So buyers will never be a purchaser if the
Yeah,
vendor will not be a seller. So meaning,
okay.
kung hindi ka motivated as a seller, 'di ba po, you'll never be a seller. You're just a vendor. So
Ganun pala.
yes, 'di ba po? So si buyer will never be your purchaser if you're
Mm.
not gonna actually really sell your house. So in this type of market ate, there's just so much choices. Really so much choices.
But
Sa street na lang namin ate, there's already 5 for sale in this area.
wow. Do
Yeah.
you have any idea why is that so? Because at the moment, I know that it's the buyer's market. That's what I've heard. It's buyer's market.
Mm,
Baba ang presyo compared to 2021.
mm.
And pababa na rin, what I've noticed as well is pababa na rin yung interest rates compared to last
Yes.
year.
Yes. So
So, yeah.
hindi siya kasing baba ng interest rate nung hot market. So, the hot market, I think I've had buyers ate who's got really good deals around 3% lang. And then suddenly, biglang naging naging colder market is because when the interest rates gain like higher,
Mm.
increased, it became colder market kasi may mga buyers na okay, we're not gonna buy right now kasi interest rate is high. And then some of the vendors like ano siya eh, parang yun yung nagbabalance sa kanya ate eh. So like if the interest rate is actually really high, then houses actually go down. And then once the houses goes up, interest goes rates go down. But then
Mm.
but for me ate, as a buyer's agent, I always tell my buyers kasi I love being a buyer's agent. It is better to actually buy right now at this type of market, even though the interest rates will be high, because the thing is because the interest rates change,
Yeah.
but house prices will never be. So if this is the lowest of the this is the bottom of the market, this is the best time to buy.
I'm not an agent. I'm not a mortgage broker. I'm just a mere homeowner. And I would also strongly advise anyone there kung meron kayong savings to buy now. Because
Mm,
kami, meron lang kaming savings. And if we have the equity, we're going to buy our second home. Pero
yes.
yes, that's also one thing because I've just received an email just recently from William Corporation, William or Williams
Mhm,
Corporation, and I forgot the name of the agent, but he's saying that they will provide the deposit. So I have set a meeting with him tomorrow para
mhm,
pag-usapan as to whether we can go ahead with our plan, having our son join us, and what our plan is to buy our second home and
mm,
not sell our house anymore because they are saying that they can provide the deposit and I don't know what else we're going to discuss. So yeah, I've
tomorrow.
set an appointment with him tomorrow for around 30 minutes. So this is going to be exciting because it gives me hope that if
Yeah.
we'll be able to go ahead, then we will buy our second home. Bakit hindi?
Yes.
Eh, low ang
Yes.
ngayon house market, I
Yes,
guess.
ate. And that's the thing, like you're totally correct. If you have savings, if you have a really good income, say like the household income is at least like, like parang enough for you to actually pay a rental appraisal, right? Like rental um amount right now, the value of rent is almost like you're paying a mortgage.
Mm,
If you're already, di ba ate? So if you're already in that position of actually you've already have at least a 10% for a $700,000 home, might as well just buy it. Because at the end of the day, yes, the interest rate, we always just, like I always just tell my buyers at it, that just do not lock your interest rate for too long, because you'll never
mm,
know if it changes, if it goes down. So you just have to, like, at the end of the day, I'm not a broker, I'm not a financial advisor or anything, but talk to your broker. Yeah, get yourself set up, get yourself educated enough to actually know that, okay, so anong dapat natin gawin? Do you have plans for me that can help me actually achieve my goal? Like, this is the best market ate to buy a home. I actually told this to Steven that once, maybe we're just waiting at least like couple of months, and then we'll go back to the broker and say maybe we can afford this home, and then we can get a mortgage. Kasi ito yung best time to buy, because once the interest rates go down, you wouldn't want to wait for that, because once the interest goes down, then the prices of the houses goes up. So
mm.
this is,
Yes.
po, diba? It's always a pattern. So you'd rather want to buy now while the interest rate is down, but eventually, I'm pretty sure what we can actually see in the trend, maybe in a couple of maybe 6 to 7 months, I don't know, maybe early of 2025, rates might go down. So,
Oh.
if you can hold on right now, then hold on. Parang sabi ko nga din sa mga kababayan natin ate na nagpa-appraise sa akin. Kasi alam mo naman ako ate, 'di ba? Parang kabaliktaran talaga ako ng ibang ahente na ipupush ka to sell. Kabaliktaran talaga ako nun. Ang gustong-gusto ko is to help build the portfolio.
Mm,
And so that's the thing. So I told our kababayan na mga inappraise ko po na parang, if you're not having a hardship, if you can kind of still afford your mortgage, you just have to tighten your belt for now, because we'll never know if it's 6 7 months interest rates go down, then you wouldn't want to sell your best asset. That's your biggest asset. Just build your portfolio, and by the time that you're, I don't know, you're willing, like you've already paid off at least 50% of your mortgage, and the other one, your second home, is actually paying on its own, then pretty much you can retire earlier. Kasi
Mhm.
it's paying on its own, and then you can put the other one on rent. I know it's easy said than done, but I think once you learn how the market goes, and I think, I don't know, ate, kung napag-usapan you know last week na ating guest about having the investment, if that's the same, same situation with her.
That's correct because I just remember, bumili sila ng bahay in oh my goodness, I forgot. 2017, I think. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
20. And in 5 years' time, na fully paid nila.
Mm.
So, what did you do? Of course, they bought a second home after the first one. Yung second home nila pinarentahan. And then,
Mm-hmm.
tumaas yung market. I think that was 2021, pagtaas ng
Yes.
market after the COVID.
Yes.
Problema sila sa tenant. And so they decided to sell it. And that was really a hot market for the vendors.
Yeah.
Kasi, as, kaya they were able to pay off the first home and were able to help their kids get into their first homes as well. So now they are debt free. The couple,
Yeah.
of course, ang mga anak nila may mga sarili-sarili ng buhay eh. So they are debt
Yes.
free. And then they recently bought a home in December here in Weymouth, just for
Mm.
an investment. So and
Yeah.
they can retire, but they still enjoy going out to work because it's boring to stay at home.
Yes, yes, ate. And that's the thing. Like, I was just so happy. I think you know her. I have another kababayan friend in Weymouth as well. I'm not sure if, but she knows you. But anyway, I bought a buko pie from her. I don't know if she's watching. Hi, ate, if you're watching right now.
Yeah,
But
we
I
have
bought a
two
buko.
viewers right now. Ria C. She's here in
Hi.
Auckland, I think. Taga Manorewa yan, I
Yes.
reckon. And si Mavi
Oh,
Marina
yeah.
from Davao. Hopefully, you're coming soon to New
Opo.
Zealand and buy a property as
Yes, you might have property here. And I'm really wanting to help, like, about kababayan po, and especially become educated more about the properties that you're gonna want to buy, po? So parang, this is the best. This is the best time. South Auckland is actually really the best as well. So I was just so happy with one of our kababayan ate. I think she knows you. Sabi niya she knows you eh. But then, so I went there to buy a buko pie from ate, and then I asked, sabi ko, oh ate, so how was, because they bought a second home. So at first she was actually asking me my help to buy the first home. But then that was the time that I was back in the Philippines. So it was quite hard for me to help her out. Pero I was so happy that she bought her second home that's paying on its own. And then their house in Weymouth it's actually grown value because they bought it. And she was so cute. She was like, Mean, hindi ako nagbayad. Wala akong cash. Wala akong ipon. But
well.
because of the equity of my house here in Weymouth, I was able to buy the second home. So,
That's true.
mm,
Yan nga ang
living
sabi
virgin.
not agent. Paula, remember Paula, our
Yes,
mortgage broker sa ANZ. So again,
yes,
she's working for ANZ. She's not working for me. She's not actually helping me understand all this stuff. I have to learn it myself, and that's why I enjoy
yeah,
doing this podcast because I'm learning a lot. And
yes.
nas na yung three, sorry, yung mortgage loan namin, we are bound to renew it, and we're splitting it up into three parts. And ayun nga, ang isa 6 months, ang isa 1 year, and the other one is 3 years. Kasi iniisip ko,
Mhm.
bababa eh. We're really
Yeah,
hoping that the interest rate will go down maybe sometime late this year, but I can sense that it's going down. Kasi last time when we
yes,
renewed in October, it was 7.04, and now the offer to us is 6.99, 6.85, and 6.65 for the 3 years. So the longer you locked it up, the lower the interest rate. Pero who knows, because interest rate will be
yeah,
fluctuating. Kaya gusto ko may 6 months, may 1 year para pag nag-fluctuate, edi boom, i-lock in
yes.
ko na naman sa lower interest rate.
Yes, that's actually really true, Ate. And that's the thing. Like, I don't want our kababayans to be really scared of this. Like, I know I've spoken to one of my client today that they were like, oh my gosh, it's just the biggest scam. We've been paying for 2 years, and it turned out that we only paid for 20 years. I was like, it was just unlucky because they bought their house on a hot market. So that was the only thing. I know that there's so many people, Ate, na who bought it on the hot market. So pretty much now that the value of the home has actually gone down, you've also lost your equity. So it was like a negative equity,
Yeah.
but because they during the hot market, most of the houses were selling way above the CV. So
Mm,
now
yeah.
most of the houses are selling way below the CV. So we were
Mm.
blessed enough that I was able, me and my listing partner Jasmine, we were able to sell Mangere, my listing ate, above the CV. So that was a
Oh,
very, very good result. Yes,
that's
ate. So um ate, our vendors are very, very happy. So because they've been watching the auctions for the past weeks before our auction, and most
mm.
of the houses are actually selling way below the CV.
Anong
And
lahi
they
yung
cried, huh?
ay, sorry. Anong lahi yung nakabili ng house sa Mangere?
Mga Vietnamese po, buyers din namin, which is I'm so happy. Kung makikita, yes ate, kung makikita niyo yung photo ko, yun yung niyakap ko dun sa story ko, yung niyakap ko, yun yung buyers ko. But then our
Ah,
vendors are kababayan, so Filipino po vendor namin. But they were so happy. My buyers are so happy as well. It's such a beautiful property. It was a busy that house. It was a successful campaign. We've lost some bidders, we've gained some bidders, so win-win. So it was a very, very tricky kasi parang syempre kabado din sila ate yung ano ko po yung vendors namin because most of the houses are actually really selling way below CV and ours were above CV, so we sold it way above the CV, so at least like mga almost 5% above the CV.
yeah, that's true. When you said na if you're not really struggling to pay your repayments, I
Mm.
think that's not the time for anyone to sell the house, especially if you bought it in the hottest market in 2021.
Yeah.
You'll have negative equity. And I would say because I've heard as well na in few years time maybe around 4 or 5 it's gonna go up again a little bit maybe or it will
Mm.
reach back to the price when you first bought it pero
Yes.
pag natakot ka kinabahan ka and then you will sell it out talagang lugi ka but
Yes.
i- parang sa stock market pa na just don't fear and just aim for the long term investment because in the
Mm.
long it will really pay off.
Yes.
That's all I could
And
say.
that's the thing. So going back again, ate, like I know that our topic right now is Gone in a Flash, popular property sold in record time. Okay, so we go kind of like be in line in our topic right now, ate. See, that's the thing. So houses, if you own a house right now po, mga kababayan natin, let's just say I have another kababayan who goes to same church as I. They were being bombarded by agents knocking on their door saying, I'm gonna sell your house, do this, I'm gonna sell your house. And then she met me. So the thing is, I'm different. So when she met me, ang sabi ko, why would you wanna sell it? So
Mm.
kaya ano ko, kaya ako yung mahirap na ahente at ako yung ako
That's true.
pinakamahirap na ahente.
Yeah, you're
Ha?
you're you're obviously being honest based on what you think would benefit them and not yourself. Kasi kung ikaw yung
Yes.
buyer, I just want commission, then we'll sell it.
That's true ate. And yun yung naging panata ko na hindi ako basta sa transaction, hindi ako sa pera. The reason why I really love real estate is because I am able to help people be educated because not everyone will have the luxury of actually really learning about real estate. So like it took me 6 months to finish my studies in real estate. Not all our kababayans will take a 6 months no
Mm.
study to just to learn what's happening in the real estate, what you should do in real estate. And my panata was like not about the money. So alam ko na sinasabi nila na kaya ako yung pinakamahirap na ahente kasi kabaliktaran ako ate. But I just love educating people. I think that's what I really love about this ano po this industry is because not all agents will have this luxury. Like me, I'm not after the mabilis na transaction. I love and I think that's the reason why ate yung buyers namin po ng Mangere, they really we got along so well kasi parang every question that they ask, at the end of the day, of course it wouldn't actually put my vendor in, in ano din disrepute or in trouble. What I
Yeah.
do is that to make sure that my vendor knows the process and to make sure that my buyer knows the process. So but like at the end, like after the campaign ate, it's a win-win kay buyer ko at kay vendor ko, because both of them were educated enough that this is
Mm,
gonna be the process. You have to trust the process and do not be disappointed, because this is what the market is. It is when I appraised the house in Mangere ate, I have to really explain. Like it took me 4 hours sitting down with ate and kuya, explaining explaining the whole agency agreement. These are what you have to do. This is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm, what we're gonna do. So this is a team. We are a team. So I'm just your agent. I'm the one who's gonna talk to your thing. But this is a team effort. And Ate and Kuya was able to experience that every step of the way that I'm doing, they are every morning they will be receiving our message, or I call them and stuff like that. Si buyer din namin siya, and that was really really good because we got along so well. And then at the end I was able to actually make them go to the auction, kasi if they waited for the property po to go past it, I don't even think it's gonna pass it, because I know and my vendors know the motivation is really high, and I've been honest from the very beginning that the motivation of my vendor is very high, without compromising, of course, the confidentiality of the whole process. So that's the thing, ate. So, and going back to that, what I'm saying, ate, if a property sold in record time, it will be sold in record time if the vendors are educated enough and that they are motivated enough to sell. But if you don't have that motivation, if let's just say you're 50% motivated to sell, it's not gonna sell. So I don't think it's, you parang, if you're only 50%, 50-50, you're not full 100% of your heart
mm,
that I'm going to sell it. Of course you're not. It's the same thing as like, no, I don't want to let it go. No, not the price that that I expect. I want this. Then
yeah,
you're not a vendor. You're not a seller. So you'd rather want to keep it, build the equity and buy another one
that's pretty
instead of
much my
actually,
case.
yes, ate, diba? So
Not just my
that's
case, because my husband is involved and he has the final say, I would say. And yeah, if it's we're not happy with the price, we're not going ahead. So yeah, we're just building the equity. Now, talking about the
yes.
gun on a flash, what type of properties are going so fast? Or is it based on the price? Is it the location? Or is it the type of property like what we've talked before, like the
Number
townhouses
one.
or yeah.
Okay, so number one, Gun in the Flash, popular properties. Number one, I will go back, motivation of the vendor. Because if the vendor is not motivated enough, it's never gonna sell. Because at the end of the day, every properties at they will sell.
Mm.
Every
So
properties will sell.
how will you know that the vendor is motivated? You can
Okay. And that's the reason why it take me 4 hours and 5 hours to sit down with a potential vendor. Because I really need to know their situation at the, and that's the thing about me. Some agents might think na I'm wasting time, but me, I don't want to be, because it's also gonna be my time, ate, that I'm gonna spend
yeah.
and I'm gonna waste, diba? So the thing about us agents, we don't get paid, ate, if we don't sell a house. It's a purely commission based industry. So you would like, I'm quite picky. I'm actually quite picky of a house that I'm gonna list. Because if I have a feeling during the meeting na no, my vendors are unrealistic, then I'd rather back out of the sale. I'd
Yeah.
rather back out po, because I think that it's gonna be 3 months of me spending my time in there and I'm not gonna pay. I'm not gonna
Mm,
be paid.
mm.
Because if they're not realistic, if they really are like not stubborn, but they are, adamant na no, we're not selling at this price.
Okay, so number one is you can ask
Hi,
the agent if they are
yes.
seeing those properties. You can ask how motivated is the vendor. Yeah, so that's number
Yes.
one.
It's
You're
always
going.
gonna be the motivation at the second one would be of course the type of property. Okay. So not just the type of property, it's well how maintained the property is. So the thing is, prices
Mm,
will always gonna be good if you maintain the property. So no matter which area is it, people will actually say that this, like your house, ate, I know how beautiful your house is, but you've not ticked the box yet of the number one. because your motivation is that 50% no, we don't want to let it go, and 50% you want to sell it. So your motivation is not that high, but you've ticked number two, which is you've maintained your property well. You know
Mm,
that your value of your home is not the value that is actually being, being seen now sa
mm,
market. You know
mm.
po. So there are houses as well that is it sells fast if it's a do-up property. So Dua
Ah,
property, we've sold like just last Monday, we have 70% clearance rate in our auctions for
wow.
Ray White New Zealand, comparing to every other auctions campaign for the past. Ray White AT Realty has actually the highest clearance rate right now for auctions. And so that's why I'm so proud of being a part of AT Realty po. So Ray White Manukau. So like last Monday, we've sold a two-bedroom in Stall. So this is Clendon Park. It's a
Mm.
two-bedroom. It's a doo-wop, and that was only a 3-week campaign, like by
When you
by my
say
colleague.
when you say do up, is it the same with newly renovated?
No, so do up ate is that it's not been renovated, so it's you'll have to do it up.
Okay.
So
Ah.
it's not renovated yet. So there's so much, like you can visit one of my home at the Seven Slim Place, Clendon Park. That one is
Oh,
fully renovated. So
when is it?
it's on. So I can show you. Actually I was thinking of doing my podcast with you while I'm there. Kasi parang it's a vacant property. Then you can
Oh
see the
yeah,
potential. Maybe
we can
opo,
just
like
go
I'll
live.
yeah, like we can go live in here.
Dito lang yan eh.
Yes, malapit lang sa inyo ate. So like maybe like
Yeah,
3-4 minutes.
yeah, i-promote natin para
Malapit.
dumami yung mga Pinoy dito. Magiging
Mm, mm.
ano ba,
And that
Pinoy
one
community.
ate, yeah, so that one ate, our vendors bought it last year lang. For makikita nyo naman po siya eh. So makikita mo siya sa history, 656, but that was a do up situation. So yung house is very old, and like they have to replace a lot of the 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 cladding and stuff like that, like the walls. So
Okay.
that's a do-up. So our vendors bought it for 656. You can see that in the history. And now they've put money. So our vendors are investors. So they put money, they tidied it up, they fixed it, and then re-put it on the market. So that's the fully renovated na siya. So this property ate, it has a big land. It's 611 square meter.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah. It's a
Considered
freehold 611.
oh, freehold pa. And there are actually many new houses here being built around in our area. So, parang tataas na rin 'tong value ng Clendon Park, eh. I know at the moment or previously or in the past, Clendon Park medyo I'm not sure if ito yung pinakamababa among the South Auckland, suburbs.
Mm, mm. Yeah, like that's the thing ate. And I think like most of like what remember how Ate Mirna, one of our guests here, one of the agents that we've guested here, and she mentioned as well na parang, if it's your first home, don't be too choosy. Get something that you can afford right now, because your first home here in New Zealand, it's never like Philippines na parang you buy a house, that's your
That's
forever
for good.
home. In New Zealand, it's just so easy to actually buy, build equity, buy another one, sell these, and buy another one. Yung ganun, di ba? Dito po sa New Zealand, ganyan sila. Sa Philippines kasi parang when you buy a property, that's already your forever home. So here po in New
Walang
Zealand, you have to.
walang forever.
Yes, so wala talaga siyang hindi ako naniniwala sa forever, no joke. Pero pero 'di ba ate, so what's happening is that buy your first home. Don't be too choosy. If that one is enough for your family right now, if it's within the school zone, if you've got kids, get it. If you can afford it. So that's the only thing you can afford. It's the same thing as what you did at it when you bought that. And then by the time that the time is right, you either buy a new home or sell it, because
Yeah.
like the one that I'm selling right now, ate, that's a 611 square meter land area, and that's like off Roscommon Road, so it's just convenient location as well. And then if you buy it at a good price, you've got the 600 square meter land area as a sleep out. So that one has a legal sleep out sa likod. Just doesn't have a toilet though, so you kind of have to add a toilet. But there's a legal sleep out at the back. And then
Oh,
the house itself is 110 square meter floor area. So it's quite spacious.
yeah. So going back to the criteria or the factors that will sell that property fast, number one is the motivation of the vendor. Number two, wala ako.
The maintenance, yeah, the
The
house
maintenance,
condition ate. The
the
house
house
condition. So
condition.
it's either a very good maintained house, like my
Yeah.
Mangere listing that we sold, or a do-up property, because pretty much investors would want to buy it because they'll just be the one who's gonna do it up. The
Ah, okay.
third criteria ate is that for me, it is also the agents. So how well did the
Oh,
agent actually put campaign on the property? So with our Mangere, I already have a feeling na mabibenta siya on the auction. Although of course, it depends on the marketing that we choose. So
mm,
vendors will have to put a bit of course, kumbaga parang, anong tawag dito? Ikaw yung kasi ang vendors ang magbabayad ng
na
marketing po eh.
advertising.
Yes, na advertising. Depende kung
So when we had our first chat with the agent, parang mga around 2,000 lahat yung ibabayad namin to have it on the market. And then, ano tawag this Tagalog? And we asked for discount because it's like,
ah
oh, 2,000 and we're not sure if
tumawad.
it's tawad na, tumawad kami. So they've taken off some of the advertising fee, so they are just like a little bit of it. I'm not sure if that was the advertising fee, but then it went down to around 1,500. So we didn't really pay that much.
So okay, so with advertising, what we always believe ate is that if a vendor doesn't pay advertising, your motivation will also be not as high because
Mm,
you didn't put an investment to it. So,
yeah.
and that's the reason why I always tell, like I always this is what happened, this is what I've learned early on my in my industry, like in my experience at it. I paid for one of the vendors um in
Oh,
marketing because the
yeah.
vendor requested me, and I was very naive at it because I wanted to help. So I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, I'll pay for the marketing. So, and I don't even have money and I paid for the marketing. And then I paid
Yeah.
for the marketing. But the vendor ended up not wanting to sell. So pretty
Uh,
much the one that I saw that I paid for po is it's gone to waste. So
yeah.
like they don't have the motivation. They don't have the motivation. They weren't really realistic. And so it was my loss. So as an agent. So that
Definitely.
was
That's a big amount. Next time you're not supposed to be doing that.
yeah. So that's when I learned it the hard way ate. And I'm like, ouch, that's so much.
Mm,
But yeah, so if the thing is like, so going back at this criteria number three is that how well did the marketing campaign your agent actually done
mm,
for your property is what
that's-
makes your property sell as well. So with our Mangere, that was quite a good one kasi parang ang nangyari is that of course my vendor don't want to pay as much as well because there's a reason why they need to sell. So,
mm, yeah.
po. So what I did was to really sit down with them, explain to them, okay, so these are the best marketing that we want to use. Um, if you don't want to pay this, then we will have lesser views. So
Mm,
lesser
reach.
eyes seeing.
Mm,
Yes. So what I did was to really sit down with them and we just chose the best one to target. So they
mm,
didn't pay as much, but at the end of the day, I chose some that is parang value for the money. And
mhm.
that gave us so much good reach na parang kaya natuwa din siguro yung vendor namin is because hindi ko po sila pinwersa. Pero I would never ever ask them na parang yun nga na, oh, I'll give you discount on this one because you're also gonna be discounting the reach of the campaign.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we have a question here from Miele Salva. Good evening po. Would
Mm.
it be possible to also get some insights on properties located in other areas within Auckland, say West Auckland? Mm.
Oh,
What kind
West
of
Auckland is actually quite good. I sold a house in oh my gosh,
long time?
Glendine. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was last year. So I
Pero
sold
mas
a
mahal,
property in Glen.
if we're going to compare West Auckland and South Auckland, which one is higher? Mas mababa South Auckland, no?
Where yes, mas mababa pa rin po ang South.
South
So,
kasi.
a lot opo, so South Auckland is more a little bit more ano po, more
Affordable.
achievable and affordable.
Dito
Although there
na
are
lang
places
tayo,
in West po.
usapan. If you can move here to South Auckland, we can be neighbors and we'll just
Yeah.
build a joke.
Yes. Pero West ate is also because there's a lot of good areas in West as well. Like I know Hobsonville, I know, you know, Titirangi is also a nice area. And then also, you know, Glendowie,
Dito, I think yata 'to, diyan din ano, west
the
din 'yan.
Atatu, yeah, yeah, West. Yes po. And then Newlyn, a little bit, yeah, a little bit further than Newlyn. Then you've got the, you know,
Henderson,
the
alam mo
Glendine,
na
that one I sold.
sa Henderson, Henderson, yeah.
Yes, Henderson. There's a lot of Filipinos din po sa Henderson. There, I think Henderson may be almost kind of the similar price po ng
CBD.
atin, ng South. Yes,
Ah,
kind of
south.
similar po.
Oh, okay. But still it depends
Mm.
on the size of the property and the kind of
Yeah.
property. Yeah,
And
those
then
stuff.
like what I always suggest our buyers is that if meron kayong napupusuan na location, I would suggest, and you live nearby anyway, I would suggest you drive around the area different times of the day. Kasi
Mm,
you'll never know how, let's just say at night, how many cars does the neighbors park in there at night? Is it gonna be too tight? Do you have
mm,
enough car park space? Is
mm,
there, like, you go around the street? Kasi ganito ako ate pag nagbebenta ako ng property. So ang ginagawa ko is, I drive there on different times. If I see
mm.
a rubbish bin, like especially on a rubbish collection day,
Yeah.
I also drive. I'm really picky ate as
Ah,
an agent. So I drive on the rubbish collection day and I see if I see a bin na puno ng bote ng alak and ano, ayokong
ah,
maging
yeah, yeah.
'di
Mm,
ba
okay, that's a
ate?
good
So
tip. Mm,
that's a good tip. So I think I do that. And then I also drive on maybe early in the morning kasi doon mo malalaman kung gaano ba kadami ang nagpa-park talaga overnight. Kasi at night you'll never know, maybe bisita lang or something. But early in the
mm,
morning you drive there maybe around 8 a.m. You see there's so much cars that you can't even park in your own driveway. So
mm.
different
Most of them.
types opo, different types of the day. You drive around. So pag may napupusuan kayo and then on a rainy day, you drive as well if it's a rainy day. Especially kasi may ganun ako ating buyer talaga, yung nabentahan ko nga nung Glendine ko. Nag-drive siya. So sinabihan ko na it's raining right now and it's a very heavy rain. Drive in the house that we viewed. Just see if there's gonna be like maybe a puddle of water outside.
Yeah.
So ang ginawa niya, nag-drive siya and tignan mo talagang saktong-sakto pag-drive niya doon, nag-aano, anong tawag dito ate? Yung bahay na binyo namin, yung nagtatanggal ng tubig sa loob ng bahay.
Oh, what? So it's
Yes!
leaking.
Yes, nagbabaha yung bahay sa ilalim.
Oh,
So, sa
no.
garage. So sabi niya, "Oh
Oh,
my gosh, Marian, like good thing you told me because I went to the house, blah blah blah." So sinabi niya sa akin, ano to mga Thai, ang buyers ko is Thai. So sinabi niya sa akin na parang nakita ko sila nagsasalok ng ng tubig palabas ng bahay. So
oh,
yeah, so different types of the day or different seasons. So like if it's raining, might as well drive around, see if there's gonna be a puddle of water there. Then it means na medyo mababa yung land. So it means
mm,
na possible na magbaha or something. But at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, it will show in the lim report. So
mm,
I provide us agents will provide the lim report anyway, especially if it's going to an auction property.
mm,
But in saying that, a lot of the houses ate na binaha nung last year, their lim
mm.
report, they're not in the flood zones.
Eh, hindi naman talaga parang, that was just a one-off incident na I don't think it's gonna
Yes.
happen.
Yes.
I
So
don't,
it's every 100 years or something. I don't know.
yeah, maybe may ano lang, hindi maganda sa paggawa, and hopefully they have done it
Yes.
well. I think the drainage, I think
Yes.
so. It's just
I
my.
hope it gets better, ate, no, because it's of all the developments.
And that part is in West Auckland ba yun or North?
Yes.
North West Auckland.
Nagbaha sa Newlyn. I remember that is really, really flooded. Like the whole Newlyn town center was really flooded.
So,
Um,
apekto
Black
din yung
House Bay was
sa
also.
bahay, di ba? Like, if it got wet. Pero siguro naayos na rin naman nila. I don't know. Depende
Yeah, it
sa
should be.
insurance.
Opo, it should
Anyway,
be.
going back to those other factors, do we still have more? Because the number one is motivation. Number two is the kind of property, if it's well maintained. Number three is the marketing campaign of the agent. What's
Yeah,
we
so
have
the
more?
marketing. Yeah. So I think those are the most important one for me as my experience at it. Those are the most important ones. Properties that will sold in record time. Most of the time na may iba, like yesterday we have appraised a property, the vendor doesn't want to go to auction, doesn't want to go, price by negotiation. He just wants to list it as price. So that's gonna sell. But
Mm.
going back, it's gonna be connected to like how motivated is the vendor.
Mm, mm.
So it's
But
always gonna be connected to most of those.
totoo ba
Ano
na
po?
wala masyadong house lists ngayon? Mga house
Actually,
listing? Marami.
no, mas madami, ate.
Oh,
Our office
okay.
alone, so Manukau, I'm in Manukau office of Ray White. I used to be in our Manoreo, but that's the same company. But Manukau has our own listings just this month, and we're 20 days from the 1st of March. We already have about 70 listings that we just listed this month.
And gaano katagal yan at mabenta?
So depending on the property again, so depending on the property,
Depending on
but
those factors.
because we have the highest clearance rate with AT Realty, if you sell it via auction, the current days on market for our listings is at least less than 20 days.
Wow, bilis nun.
So, mabilis siyang mabenta. Yes, mabilis po siya. Kasi depende po talaga siya sa marketing and gaano ka-push na ibenta ng ahente. And I think that's the reason why I really like our office is because we are being trained every Monday how to actually, if there's, let's just say, ito po may sasabihin lang ako, like, this is totally different from where I was from, ate. Sorry sa mga kasama ko. But, in AT Realty, ate, is that, let's just say I listed the property right now, and then within 24 hours ang gagawin ng mga boss namin is to check how many views did I got, did I ever have an inquiry the whole 24 hours. If I didn't, then there's something wrong with my marketing. Then we will
Mm.
all help each other to change our marketing.
Oh,
Ganun siya
sounds
ka ganun
amazing.
Ganun siya ka on top of it. So, yung mga boss namin, they're really supportive. If they say, how many views did you have? Did you have any inquiry? If you don't have any inquiry, then it's something wrong. Let's see what's something wrong in your campaign. So they will change. Maybe you chose the wrong photo as the hero photo. So maybe you do that. So
Mm.
ganun kami ka on top of it. So yung meron mang mga stocks na has been on the market more than 40 days, and those are, as what I've said, going back, number one, motivation of the vendor.
Sorry. Medyo inuubo-ubo pa ako. Alright, guys, there you go. Maraming bumibili ngayon kasi it's the buyer's market.
Mm.
Uh, uh, may And so, if you have any other idea as to what topic we would like us to talk about next time, let us know, or feel free to comment in the comment section, and we will try our best to reach out to those people who can help us explain those topics. Yeah. Is there anything else you'd
Yes.
like to say, Marianne?
Go to my open home in Slim Place. Come to my open home. That one, a lot, because sobrang dami talagang choices, ate. That's what I said, depende sa property. So, go to the property. It's quite a good one. 611 square meter land area. For a first home, not too bad, For an investment, not too bad as well. It has a rental appraisal of 800 to 850 per week.
Wow. Lagay mo sa comment ang link. so that we can all
Opo,
have a look.
opo, para makita. Yes, yes, ate. Thank you so
Thank
much, guys.
you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
ate.
everyone. Have a good
Thank
night.
you. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.